and gone am I. The last of the whiny a-holes will you be? Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Xaereth Prevails, a Grand Arena story. We're in the penultimate match of this season, and there's a lot going on here, guys. There is a ton, in fact. So let's just get to it, shall we? Here's the situation. We're facing someone named Steven Glansberg. However, this is an account that is owned by a top player. They don't want me to share their name, but they are a top player, and they they have a way bigger account than me here. This is an alt for them, and this is the first week that they had it. So I scouted and placed my defenses based on what the person that came before them would do, and now I got to face someone who was going to play a totally different defense, so that was wonderful. You can see that they have better mods than me on every single level here, and more relics and stuff, except I do have more relic 9s randomly. Everything else, clearly money spent, but that's fine. But this is such a tricky thing. I wouldn't have even known about the fact that this is someone else, except that I was just randomly mentioned it to them when I was talking to them in chat, and they were like, "Oh, actually that's my account." I was like, "Oh, you were gonna tell me?" They weren't. As it turns out, narrator, they weren't. So here's the defenses that I placed to combat the person that I was going to face, I thought. And yeah, you guys can take a look. I'm not going to take time to explain, however, because it's like a cow's opinion. It's moo. Here's what he ended up placing, much different than my opponent was going to, but you can see a couple different challenges. So Mon Mothma has been a challenge to try to figure out how to beat for a while. I actually have a really cool way to beat that Mothra team. Even though that Kyle Katarn is well over an effective 400 speed, you have a Lord Vader team with Watt and Maul, which means that Maul is going to get his first hits off immediately before I even take a turn, because their Lord Vader's faster than any of my GLs. So that's going to be interesting. There's an Iden Versio team that isn't fully relicked, so that'll be good Wampa food. And then Supreme Leader Kylo poses a problem because the guy who came before did not have. They always kept Supreme Leader Kylo, and I always have a backup for these things. You know, you gotta have these plans, but it's an imperfect backup, to say the least. Here's the top zone that they placed. Some Nightsisters, fast Dash Rendar team. Jango lead BAM team, so that makes the Queel pretty dang quick. And then a banner burning team with IG and all the droids. Well, BB-8 and all the droids. IG is just the only leader out of all of them. Which is funny, because aren't all droids just super skilled at leadership? Like, they're all charismatic and stuff? Oh, they aren't? That's weird. Okay, so just before we jump into the fight, guys, we want to remind you, if you want to support the channel for free, all you've got to do, hit that thumbs up button, help me mount the algorithm, make a comment in the comments area, gesticulate wildly, and then do one of these things. Subscribe if you haven't already, guys. All of those things. Ding the bell. Don't do that, actually. That's ridiculous. But I think it's time. We have a lot going on today, guys. Lots of good counters. And fleets are going to be, let's just say they're very interesting, shall we? Let's get to it. Alright, we start the fight against this Mon Mothma team. You'll note that we have Shaak T in here instead of Omega. And Shaak T, she's not the lead. We still want Hunter lead. But the idea is she gains 20% turn meter every time a clone or herself are damaged. And so Kyle Katarn starts the fight off. My Echo's like, what, 361 speed, something like that right now. And so Kyle Katarn goes first, but watch Shaak T's turn meter. I mean, it's already kind of high, but everyone hits, and suddenly Shaak T jumps out ahead. Put that mass assist thing on Echo. Echo can go dispel everything, and then everyone gains 5% turn meter based off of how many buffs they dispelled. So all the other clones get a turn. We don't get the 2-turn stun with Wrecker, but we do get the true damage, the defense up ability, and be under Hunter lead. That's all we need. So Mothra team didn't get another turn. 75 banners, and we just wrecked through it. Pretty sweet start to it. And so now we're gonna intersperse. I wanted to try that one just to see if it was gonna work. I wasn't 100%. I thought of it and I was like, all right, we're gonna experiment. But now we're gonna do this again. Watch how Maul is going. I haven't taken a turn yet, and luckily he didn't just kill Crew right away. I mean, if he had, I guess that might have been okay. The thing is, if Watt's there, that means that Thrawn can't be there. And Thrawn is the one that makes things really awkward, because then eventually he makes Supreme Leader Kylo available for Maul to focus down if you get the wrong RNG. And so we're kind of going quick on this one anyways, because this is always a long fight. But my biggest question was, exactly how hard how messy would it get at the very start? And with all my characters still alive and actually doing abilities, actually able to enact abilities, then things are looking better. Now, one interesting thing is, whenever Lord Vader kills someone, they can't be revived because they have the weapons tech. He also gains extra turn meter, I think. I mean, based off of my turns, so... yeah, it's just a very interesting situation here. Watt is down for the count, poor guy. Crew is out. And this is during the ult, so I can't actually get either of them back. Actually, maybe I could get Watt back, but I think maybe, spoiler alert, he never comes back at any point. So the other thing that's interesting is if we stun the Royal Guard with Supreme Leader Kylo, he still doesn't get anything back, really. And here, okay, I killed Watt, finally, good. But I didn't actually kill... I haven't... Watt's put all of the techs out. Like, Maul is healing at a pretty high rate right now because he's got the med pack. But remember, the Royal Guard isn't actually getting anything from that shield tech except for... When they take a turn, of course, they can dispel the effect. So I guess the Royal Guard right now, yeah, he finally took a turn. He was able to go instead of just stay stunned from Daka. So, I mean, Watt definitely made an impact here, guys, but I don't know. It's interesting. And at some point, guys, I misclicked, and this is gonna mess with us the entire match, unfortunately, but because I was recording it, I actually resized my BlueStacks a little, so the icons at the bottom are just kind of, they're diminished, they're smaller, and I didn't realize that was an issue until I had recorded everything, and wanted to show you guys what was going on. So, all right, 50 seconds left. We got it. We dropped 9 banners, but that's how that counter goes sometimes. Pretty big mess. I guess Watt there is decent. He's not Empire though, so nothing too crazy. All right, so Iden doesn't get her stun because my Wampa is Tenacious AF, and these guys aren't super high relic, and Iden especially isn't high relic, and Iden she does so much damage that you want her to be relic. Obviously, her mechanics are good, and obviously you want relics for everyone, relics for all, except for maybe Nightsisters Zombie, but otherwise, yeah, you definitely want relics on Iden. It's just that sometimes yeah, if she can't get relics, that's fine. It makes it so much easier, because she does so much damage on, she's a good facilitator, but then she's personally dangerous as well. Okay, so here is my counter, guys, for Supreme Leader Kylo. I'll explain it for just a minute before we let you loose. So right now we rely on getting that 3rd stack from armor. So if you look at her kit, it says that once one of her allies, it doesn't matter which ally, it can be light side, dark side, Mando, non-Mando, whatever you want to do. If they go to 60% health or less, but then obviously they don't die, then she gains that extra stack of ingot, and you need that ingot so that once you apply it to Sith Eternal, he can't be crit. For this counter, that is essential, guys. You have to make it so that they can't crit. Because otherwise, they'll just focus you, like they kill your Supreme Leader Kylo. Super easy. So you put the link on the two guys with a lot of hit points, with a lot of protection. But remember, Kylo can still crit despite the link. So we putting the Geos in with this counter is really, really nice. Just because you have 2 extra bodies, you can actually sometimes, if the brute gets killed, then you can resummon him and everything. And we got the 3rd stack though, so that's thank goodness. So we got that on, and then everyone else was going to die. That was part of the plan, and now we're just waiting. We'll get our ult eventually and everything, but every time someone hits me, I hit them back, which is also very helpful. We have counter and everything, so we pop our ult. Against certain counters, we don't want to pop our ult, but this one definitely. We're regaining that protection. And then look at Supreme Leader Kylo's protection bubble at the top there, guys. Just almost completely gone because we're leeching it every time he's taking a turn. So you can see, like, he's not doing any damage to us. And, we're doing damage to him. Poor guy. He's no match for Supreme Leader Kylo, or for Supreme Leader Kylo's no match for himself, but he's also no match for Sith Eternal. So kind of a messy fight. Obviously, we dropped 13 banners there, but we get through. And what's he got in the back? We have to save Jedi Master Luke for the back zone, just in case he's got Kenobi. He doesn't have Kenobi, but he has General Skywalker, a Darth Revan team, and a weird Darth Maul leftover Sith team. So first off, let's just kill that General Skywalker team, because there's not really another team that's really that scary here. Now, that Rex evaded ability block twice. I have to look at the modding. I wonder if he's like modded for tenacity or something. I don't think he has extra high tenacity though. I don't think he'd be able to resist it that easily, but all right, kill 5s first, obviously, and we're just using the Jedi Master Luke special here. So if you guys can't see me clicking it, that's what we're doing. And looks like maybe we'll just kill everyone, all the clones, before Skywalker stands up. It turns out that that's the truth. And now let's, I suppose, kill Skywalker here. I wanted to keep my Jedi Revan team intact, or at least a hand-picked Jedi Revan team, for a different mission later. So we're kind of intentional about, what team we're going to use against this, and it's nice, it's a luxury to be able to use a team like this against a Galactic Legend, or against General Skywalker. So, okay, here's the next one, guys. His team is really fast. Your Queel is what, like 370-ish, almost 370 after the Jango lead, but my Gideon is like 377, and maybe it's like 369 is what Queel is. So so it's faster than what Jedi Revan can get to. Well, can get to with the mods that I have him on. He's at like 320 speed. So even with a bunch of Old Republic Jedi on his team, my Jedi Revan's just not going to be fast enough to beat this. But you want Jedi, like Jedi do pretty well here to take out Bando. So okay, we dispelled the stuff. We don't want to mark Bando right away. We just, we can hit him into getting into his poop stance, and then let's just see if we can finish him off. Okay, we did, and now let's get rid of Veteran Han, because he can make things messy because of ability block. And, at this point, though, as long as we can kill Han pretty quick, we're probably good. There's always the chance that Jango does something crazy, pulls some ridiculous stunt, but, overall, I don't know, I was a little bit unfocused. After killing those two, I was a little all over the place. So I was like, let's get ability block on Queel. And you have to pay a lot of attention to the turn meter between Queel between IG-11 and the rest of the team, because a lot of times you try to do a debuff to him, but then if IG-11 is going to go next, that debuff is going to disappear before it actually has an impact on the character that he's hitting. And so what you want to do is, if it's like, okay, IG-11 just went, and then Jango's about to go, then do ability block, for instance. Otherwise, Otherwise, it doesn't make any difference at all. So you have to be paying attention to this sort of thing a lot if you can. All right, and now we're in banner recovery mode right now. So that means calling people to assist under Jedi Rev and Lead, because you get to heal your protection 20%. And so we're just calling people to assist, and it looks like we got max banners because Gideon has that protection up all the time. So kind of nice to have Gideon. Just reduce all the turn meter and call it good. All right, so this is another fast. It's a dash team, but they're just barely. I'm just barely fast enough to do this. Normally what I want to do is do the dispel with Piet, but he only gives 10% turn meter when he does that, and so that wasn't enough for my bridge. Like my Stark isn't quite fast enough to bridge that, and so I'm kind of trying to navigate this so that I can eventually do the AoE dispel from Piet, so that we can target Vander. But if we call I'm looking at all the turn meter. Whoa. Achoo, excuse me. I'm not even going to edit that out, guys. But, alright, bless me. So I'm trying to figure out exactly, we're going to have to kill L3 at some point. But when you kill her, because it's dash Omicron, when you kill L3, then she's able to, she just revives with her taunt. So you eventually have to do the AoE from Piet to be able to dispel. But Stark was able to dispel, actually, with his AoE, which was fancy of Stark. And now we can move along with our business to save the AoE from Veers for Vander and call it good. All right, 64. And remember, if you kill L3, then you get a bunch of turn meters. So if you just keep taking her out, you can kill Vander through AoEs eventually. It just takes forever. All right, so they have this BB-8 team, and I don't have a great target for my Grievous anyways, so why not just use them on this team? I mean, the problem is, okay, so their BB-8 team is super fast, right? They get 40% turn meter for everything, but so do I, and all of my droids, well, at least 3 of my droids are faster than most of theirs, so I was like, you know what? Why don't we'll just fight fire with fire, because I'm faster. And the thing is, if something catastrophic happens to one of their droids, to one of my droids, then Grievous is like, okay, I'll take a turn and do an AoE. It's crazy. And if something bad happens to their droids, they just say, oh no, one of our guys just died. That's too bad. And that's the only recourse they really have. So, now I'm just trying to control things, make sure that they're not taking turns, stun people where they need to be stunned, etc. And that droideka's about to take a turn. Let's stop him. Hooray, we stopped him. 64 banners. The most banners Grievous has ever gotten. But, alright, let's move on to the back zone for a minute here. And this is all Darth Maul lead Sith. So Relic 8 on Dooku, Relic 7 on Sidious, 7 on Marauder. I don't know what Sith Empire Trooper has, but, they're all... But we have Bam available, which is amazing. He's so good, guys. He's really fun. So, let's use it, I guess. It's kind of fun. Pretty cool. We have our Whistling Birds. I wanted to take out Jango because Dooku, because he's the one who can mess things up. Of course, Sith Marauder can also mess things up as well. Though he doesn't have the kind of crazy protection or health regen that he does and defense that he does against other teams that generate a lot of buffs, because I don't have a ton of buffs on this team, really. So, we're doing okay here. I suppose we just gotta keep moving. We took those 2 out, and this team's really resilient and stuff too. I mean, it's not really that big of an issue, honestly. We're just biding our time. All right, we get into poop stance. We can stun Sith Empire Trooper, and, we saved all of our AoEs for this moment. Remember, we're not getting all the AoEs until, we're not getting all of them until we didn't use them until it was time, until Bando was in poop stance. So, 63 banners. Didn't really have time to play with our food. All right, now we're going to use Mon Mothma against Nightsisters, because why not? I mean, it's one of the best counters out there. It's ludicrous, because even though the Nightsisters gain a lot of turn meter passively, you still just do so. I mean, you gain too much turn meter with Mon Mothma, and you're too resilient. I mean, you guys will see. They'll eventually get Plague Out on us, I believe. And, I mean, that's fine. They can get Plague Out on us, because we heal our health quite a bit, actually, with this comp. And so, yeah, we have Worthless Guy who can dispel zombie stuff. Alright, we got 2 kills with Talzin, and now we want to take out old Daka. Even though she can stun, remember, that doesn't hurt us as much. When she dies, then, you know, they can do a basic and call Daka to stun. And that's maybe not my favorite thing, obviously, to get stunned, but you can, I mean, Mothra just cleanses that, because it's not a non-dispellable. Alright, so took out Asajj here, and now what we want to do, guys, is do an AoE with Kyle here to get rid of that foresight on Spirit, so that if she does get a turn, she doesn't like one-shot one of our characters. And now we're just gonna play with our food for a second. You can see that Cara Dune has protection that she's missing, and we want to get that last banner back, and she heals passively from Mon Mothma assisting. You know, so that eventually happens, and now we can take out Spirit and get our full banners. And I think, let's see, I think there's one more team left that we've got to take out before we get to ships and the amazing stuff. So my opponent did, by the way, attack the first zone before I went, so I appreciate that, of course. And I don't know, why are we waiting? What's going on here? Oh, because we're waiting for ships. We're gonna look at the fleets that are going to give us some fun times, folks. Okay, so let's take out this Darth Revan team. We have bounty hunters for that, no problem. And okay, I don't even know who that was. We just focused him down. Oh yeah, I would think it was HK. All right, we can take Bossk lead, actually, guys. After looking at all of the stats and everything, I was like, I think HK is the weakest. So we can take Bossk lead, and they don't have a pre-taunt on this team, and so we can just go for it. So this was a low tenacity nest, had other priorities, so we can kind of just target nest and, you know, eventually stun her and stuff. We could even take Fennec, because she hits 5 times, you know, every time she does anything. She likes to hit five times, and now she has her contract, so may as well, she can target outside of that taunt from Malak. Someone was like, "Oh, could we just like one-shot Malak?" I was like, let's not even try. We can one-shot Malak later. We'll have time to one-shot Malak when we're dead. But, you know, we're just waiting for the contract again, or for the cooldown on Mando, to just be able to take out that Malak, and, you know, may as well just hit our stunned nest friend here. And now we can just wait. I mean, now we can just wait one more time for another disintegrate, or, you know, make sure she's dazed and everything, but eventually we can maybe take her out. Who knows? So I'm calling Bossk to assist, actually, because whenever he hits someone, whenever he hits the weakest character, he's able to reduce his own cooldowns. So I don't know. I just thought I'd try it, and then Bossk ends up getting the kill, 65 banners, so pretty efficient. Actually, after my opponent was pretty efficient against me, we cleared him with pretty good efficiency. Now it's time for ouch time, and we're I don't know if we're fast forwarding fleets, but there's some bad RNG that happens here, and I don't know, we'll just explore it as we come along. And so you'll note they got their reinforcements before I could get mine, which I have no idea. Like no one understood why they got their reinforcement before mine. Really frustrating, though. Like supremely frustrating, in fact, because then, okay, there's IG. Let's kill him, I guess. IG 2000, but he keeps healing himself, and now he's we can't kill him. And now we got healed all the way, and we couldn't kill Xanadu Blood, and everyone's dying horrifyingly. I mean, feel frustrated, guys. Like this, no one knows. Like all the people I've asked, they're like, I don't know, why would Malevolence get that first turn? Like that doesn't make sense. And I don't know, people have noted that since the last update, Executor's been doing some cool stuff. So, gosh, can we kill Xanadu Blood at least before they kill me? And all right, All right, we killed one ship. Let's move to the next one, because I think we can clean it up at least. So, the problem, of course, is that their Vader is just a hair faster than my Negotiator, and so of course, their Vader went first and marked me, and this is with Gauntlet here. Remember, there's also TIE Interceptor here. I think it's a 6-star TIE Interceptor, but he's protected because of that bomber, and I don't know. You guys can see what a fiasco this fleet is. You think the Negotiator with Rex is gonna be able to help a little bit, but it doesn't really. I mean, you guys can also know. I mean, in comments, let me know. Maybe there's a way I can play this better too. I'm not saying I played this perfectly. I will say, like, I don't know what I could have done better. That doesn't mean I could have, like, I played perfectly. It means I personally just don't know. So if you guys have an idea, look at how close their Vader is. I'm like, man, can we just, and their bomber's almost gone, their shuttle's almost gone, their Thrawn gets his ultimate, kills off Anakin, and heals their Darth Vader. And I don't know, guys. I probably should have just timed out right now, because that bomber's not doing that well, you know? We could, I guess the bomber would start with a bunch of protection, though. That's one thing, is the bomber is way healthier because of a ton of extra Empire ships backing him. That's part of why this new interceptor is so good, is because he adds an extra, what, 20% to the bomber's protection. And I mean, Anakin's got, I mean, okay, eventually I decided to time out, but man, didn't kill a single thing. So now we're gonna take First Order here, and we're gonna clean up, right? Like, there's only 3 ships to start with, so they don't have their reinforcements in. That's great. May as well put Hunted on the bomber, I guess. We could try, I guess. I could have tried to stun with Silencer, like call the assist to stun, but I don't know. I'm still learning this fleet too, so you guys can let me know. There's ample opportunity, guys. You guys can all let me know what I've done, what I'm doing poorly here. You know, I feel like we're getting some bad RNG, but a lot of it's going to be user error as well, and we got to figure this fleet out. And clearly, like, I need to do some research. This month I haven't had time. You guys have probably noticed I don't have time to make good videos either. I just have to do all these reaction videos because that's what I have time for. I'm busy. I mean, I'm getting ready for some really important stuff this coming week. You know, we've got an audit coming and everything. You know, not to tell you all this stuff about real life, but it's a interesting time. All right, TIE Silencer's gone. You know, so I just don't have enough time to focus on all the things I would like to. All right, we're going to call someone to assist. Who do we call? I guess we call the shuttle to get some protection up, I suppose. I mean, this is such a good fleet, guys. I'm just super impressed. And I think that Gauntlet starting is actually part of why this is so good. Okay, so let's get Sunfac in, I guess, that we can stun the shuttle. The shuttle has that cool passive ability of giving all the protection up, so, you know, it's pretty cool, I guess, pretty neat. And I don't know, should we just dispel the TIE Interceptor? Wow, they killed my ship, and okay, can we maybe just kill the Interceptor before we die? All right, we killed the bomber, killed the Interceptor. So let's go back to Executor. We're just sending in a burner because they do the AoE. And then, I'll tell you what, guys, I didn't want to take the time to time out here, which, I mean, I should have. I think that would have been the tactically best, but I'm like, I'm not going to make my stream wait for another 4.5 minutes. So I let them kill me. And now we've got Rebels here, and they kill Biston. And probably it would have been better off if I hadn't just let them, you know, if I'd made them time out, but what's a man to do? So Biston's gone, and all right, they've got IG here again. Maybe we can get our Cassian here. Maybe we can nuke their Slave 1. Wonderful. Slave, wonderful. And all right, we can't kill their IG, guys. I think think I need to get my IG more relics and more 6E mods, because this one has been resilient AF. Like, it's almost died so many times, and then it just, like, keeps living, keeps doing all kinds of ludicrous things, and they got their contract already, guys. I mean, I don't know, guys. I guess we'll call someone to assist. Maybe we finally kill their IG. Like, their IG's been enormously impactful, though. Like, Relic 5 is probably not enough, really. Okay, so can we kill their Houndstooth before they get a turn? Like, we're close here. Come on, Falcon, assist. Or instead, let's just evade everything. Let's have him evade everything, and Falcon won't assist. They put Mark on Falcon. Probably should have healed it off of Falcon so that they can't target him, but I didn't notice it in time. Falcon's gone, and so we need waste another fleet. Can't kill it, and I don't know. Let's just drink this smoothie, guys. I don't know what else to do. I'm not giving up. I still have fleets, kind of. I have Radis, and then I have Executrix with no starfighters. And that's what I have to kill these last two fleets. So hopefully the rebels can pull something out. There's no more reinforcements here for the Executor. So maybe what I should have done is use Radis to start with. In fact, I think maybe that would have been the wise thing to do, because Radis might have been able to fight through with the Star Fortress and everything. Probably would have worked. Didn't though. Okay, we got another 2 banners, so we're slowly chipping away. But we only have 2 fleets left, guys. So, all right, Radis. This is the best chance we have is to use our Executrix to slowly, to just over time, like, wait for that ult from Executrix and take out, the Chimera. That's a long shot, but I only have 1 reinforcement here too, guys, so keep that in mind. We're just using full resistance, and they don't have any fleets left, or any reinforcements left, and that's good, because we're not doing hot here. We gotta just use our specials wherever we can, and that, I wanted to try Falcon in reserve, and I actually kind of like that, in fact, even though it's a little slower to start acting, like the extra stacks on the Falcon really do help. So, alright, finally we get Radis off on them, and now that transition was just to show that like, this lasts for frickin' ever. So, oh, look at that, the Razor Crest died of sadness. Wonderful. But this final spot just lasts forever. Look at how long. I mean, he has natural regen from Executor's leadership, so to speak. Even though Executor doesn't have a leadership, it's, an ability that persists after death. So, just trying to, kill their Houndstooth. It's rough times, guys. Rough going. I was pretty sure I was going to time out here. In fact, and maybe I do. Who knows? You guys don't know. I do. I know if I time out. But, after this, then we have to clear the other Empire fleet with our dregs. With, like, I think I have 4 ships, and they're all pretty bad. So, I don't know. Going to 3 fleets, not my favorite. I know I just threw out put out a video about this, about, like, don't be too mad and stuff, and I'm not too mad, but what can we do here, guys? I don't know, like, the 2 fleets is sometimes too much. And this has been a long time. It's been a long time since I've struggled this hard in fleets, frankly. You guys have seen, I mean, people have made comments, they're like, oh yeah, you need to learn fleets better, and I get that. I guess one thing to keep in mind, though, is the people I face always have way higher relics on their fleets than me. Even, in this case, too. But, hey, look at that, we killed Vader with the Falcon, so that's fancy. But, I mean, these guys have all the synergy, and I have a Gear 12 Consular, and I guess the Landino is both of the pilots are relict, so that's fancy. But, I mean, they have no real synergy. We don't have our ult ready. And even if we did, I mean, probably don't kill this fleet. So, alright, yay, we couldn't clear. Couldn't clear, and That's it. That's it, folks. You know, so hopefully he can't clear me, because that's the only hope. I have a good defense, but it's not a defense that's meant for this opponent, and so I guess we'll see how it goes. Let me show you the final situation as soon as I have the button ready. That was the wrong situation. All right, there we go. And he did eventually clear me. He failed a couple times. He failed once on my general, or my Jedi Master Kenobi. He used Rey with Jedi, and he couldn't kill either of my Kenobis. He killed the other 3, however, and then it was an easy cleanup. And then he failed once on my Malevolence, or sorry, my Executor, and I don't know what he used to kill my Chimera, because that fleet is a menace. It's been getting a lot of holds. Why is this doing what it's doing? What are you doing, bud? Okay, well, we got there. Here's my final thoughts, guys. So, I won the ground war, at least. I did have a screenshot, actually. I decided not to show it, but I did have a screenshot. Once he killed one of my fleets, so it was just one fleet versus one fleet remaining, I did have a substantially larger score than my opponent did, though he did clear, so he won. And I'm not saying I should have won, but I'm glad that I was able to be efficient against him, and adapt, even though he played it differently than I had assumed that my opponent was going to. So that was good. I just want to say, like, one of my least favorite things was finding out that I'd wasted like an hour of my time scouting and placing a really tough, placing a defense that was going to be really nuanced for one opponent, and then finding out that it was a totally different person and they were going to place a different defense than I could even predict at all. I would have just placed a very generic, like, okay, well, I guess 4 or 5 GLs on defense, and we're just going to make it hard for them. But, whatever. We can't. So it's frustrating for that to happen. That I wasted my time. We just got to be considerate of each other, guys. But at the end of the day, no excuses. My opponent cleared me. I couldn't clear him. I lost, fair and square. They're a good player, much better than the person that had been at the helm before. And I was like, man, I was really hoping to have an easier week. But, I mean, I guess if we lose this, then maybe we have an easier week next season. So, whatever. No excuses. I lost fair and square. Unfortunate that, some of the things happened that they did, but, I mean, we had bad RNG and fleets. At the same time, I am 100% confident that there are things I could have done better and played better on the fleets to make it so that I at least cleared. I mean, at that stage, like, I think that the best score I could have hoped for would be worse than what my opponent ended up with. So even if we had cleared after attacking that fleet a couple times, like, they still were efficient enough that I would have lost by right around 20 banners. So, good match to them, and next time hopefully we have a little bit more parity going on, and we have a more interesting match that maybe my defenses will actually give you some trouble. So one way or another, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. Really appreciate everyone. Thank you all so much for watching, and remember that in all things Xaereth prevails, facing off against a friend in the next match, and not gonna take it easy on each other. Should be interesting, guys. Take care.